between two numbers, and directly we were actually using print, like 6 plus 7 or 8 plus 2. But usually in
Yes.
programming languages, we should not directly write values inside the print function, because I cannot use that number in some another file. If I want to access this number in another file also, or I want to use this number for future, I cannot use it because this is not stored in the computer memory. So if you want to store a value in the computer memory, you should use variables. So variables are names given to any value which are used to be like, they're kind of an identifier. So they store the data in the computer memory, and we can access them in future in another files also. So the way we create a variable is like this, like variable equals to value. So 9 is stored inside A. Now if I want to print 9, I will print A, not 9, like this.
Yeah. Got it.
So we can give any type of value to a variable. I can give a string also. This is a string. And if I want to print the variables in the same line, we use a comma, like this. We can give any decimal value, like this. So now you know what are the rules of creating a variable. Can the variable have any name? No, right? Variables cannot have any type of name. There are some rules to be given to a variable. So the first rule is a variable should never start with a number. Like I cannot create a variable like this. This is wrong.
Yeah, we can create as A4, B6
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, like we can give number after, at the last, or means as a second value we can give the number. This is right.
Okay.
The second rule is your variable should start either with a character or an underscore. Either underscore is fine in the beginning. Only letter or underscore is fine in the beginning. Rest everything, we should never put any special characters in the variable, but only underscore is permitted. Then you should also not give spaces in your variable names. And the next rule is variables should never be a reserve word. Reserve words are those words which carry some meaning, which are predefined words like print. Print is a reserve word, no, because it is already predefined in Python. I cannot give a variable name like print. This is wrong.
You put an underscore there, right?
Yeah.
What if we run that?
Yeah, I just run it only and it was working. Yeah, okay, I will comment this part. It's printing.
Okay, not that underscore will not print, right? Only
Unders-
the.
Underscore will work. We can start our variable with an underscore.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. Then next is, yeah, I was saying that a reserve word should not be a keyword. I mean, sorry, a variable name should not be a reserve word. Like print cannot be a variable name, no? This will give an error. It's giving an
Okay.
error that int object is not callable, means it is not able to print this int value since it is having a reserve word as a variable name. So these are the rules of creating a variable. So your variable names should carry some meaning. They should be technical and it should be relatable to the value I'm storing. So like if I'm storing the name of any person, then I should take a variable name and then I will print it. Similarly, if I'm storing the marks of any person, then I should take a variable accordingly, like marks. But every time it's not like you need to have some big name or a big word. You can use ABC also. It depends. Now we can assign multiple variables in the same line. like A, comma B, comma C equals to 10. With B, I can give hello. C, I can give 89. So this means A will be assigned 10, B will be assigned hello, and C will be assigned 89. And then I'm printing them. Any doubts you have here?
No, it's clear.
Okay. Then next is, yeah, dynamic type. Actually, Python is a dynamic type language, which means at the runtime, it decides the type of value. Like suppose if I write A equals to 9, in the next line, I write A equals to hello. Now, if I print A, what value will it print? Will it print 9 or will it print hello? So it will actually take the last value being assigned. It will take
Okay.
hello.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is called dynamic type. At any point of time, I can change the data type. Now this will print 78.9. Then next, we will move to the next topic, which will be taking input from the user. Now,
Eh, once.
yeah, you have, what were you asking?
I'm sorry.
Hello?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Not you.
okay. So till now, the values which I was assigning to a variable were by my own choice, like A equals to 9. But what if I want to take this value from the user, from someone else? So for that, we use input function. Like if I'm creating any application, I want the value to come from the another user, not by my own choice. Like if I'm creating any application to calculate someone's age, so I want that they should input their age, no? So in that case, we use input function to take data from someone else. So how do we use input is we write input in the brackets, it take a message, which is optional, like enter your name. I'll give this. Now you have to store this input into a variable so that you can print it or you can use it for processing. So let's say I take this variable and then I will print it. So it is saying enter your name. So you have to put your cursor near to it and you can enter your name here. So it is printing that. So by default, input function considers all the value as a string. Even if I input a number, it will take it as a string only. I mean, it will print it, but it is not considering it as an integer. 10 is an integer, but it is not considering it. How can I check that is, I can use type function here to check the data type of a variable. So now if I run this and I enter a value, it's giving str. Str means string. So it's considering that value as a string. So I want that it should take that as an integer. So how can I input an integer value now? So I have to use int function over here. I will change this to enter a number. Now if I enter 10, it's giving int. Are you getting this?
Yes, yes. It's clear.
Okay. If I want to take a decimal number as input, then I should use float over here.
Okay.
So if I input any decimal value, it is going to work like this. You can change the variable name according to what you are giving as input. So if it is a num, I can even give an integer value in float. But in integer, I cannot give a floating point value. Float means decimal values. So it is a data type. So assignment I should give you afterwards, or like should I send you the questions? I think I was told to put the assignment in class, Google Classroom. So how do you want? Should I give you questions for the assignment right now?
On the basis of this today's
On
class, or
yeah, on the today, like I mean, like in input function, I wanted to give some questions. Also, it will
okay,
involve operators.
okay,
Like yesterday, we have done mathematical operators.
okay. Mm, this is a first class for us.
Yeah, I will give it once. Yeah, but
Okay.
sir told me that I have to give questions in every class, assignment in every class. Okay, I will upload in the Google Classroom then. Are you
You
not?
okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can give it.
okay. You will not get the time to do.
Mm, I can do it. I can do it. In my shift, I can do it. I'll be free.
Okay. So we are done with the input. The next topic is, yeah, we have seen yesterday, I mean, in that last class, we have seen arithmetic operators. Now we are going to see relational operators. So relational operators are those operators which are used to compare two or more values. So they are like greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to. Yeah, these are all the relational operators. So they give the output in form of true or false. So let's take an example. Suppose I have two variables and I write print a less than b. So a less than b is true or false? I mean, a less than b, is it correct or is it wrong? What do you think?
False. A less than
No, but a actually a is being assigned 7, b is 8.
7.
So a
Yeah.
less than b is true, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
true.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So this way actually it gives the output.
Okay.
A greater than b. This is false.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then a equal to b will be false because a is not equal to b, but it says a equal to b. So this is false. Then a not equal to b will be true because this is the way we write not equal to. So this will be true. So that is how we use relational operators. Similarly, you have a less than equal to b. So less than equal to means either the number can be less than or equal to the other number. So here 7 less than equal to 8 is true because one of them is true. Either it can be less than or equal to. So a 7 less than equal to 8. So this means it is true since one of them is getting true. Similarly, you have a greater than equal to b. So this will be false because neither a is greater than b nor it is equal to b. So that is all our relational operators. The next type of operators is logical operators. Logical operators are of three types: and, or, not. So now how do they work actually? First, let's see logical and. In logical and, suppose you have two variables x, y, and you want to find the and between them. So what happens in logical and is, even if one of the input is true, even if one of the input is false, the output will be false. Let's say x true, y false. So x and y will be false. True and false will be false. Similarly, if x is false, y is true, this will also be false. Only when both are true, the output will be true. And when both are false, the output will be false only. This is how logical AND works. Even if you have one false, the output will be false. So we can take an example on this. Let's say I have two numbers. Let's say I have three numbers. Now if I write print A greater than B and B less than C. So here what will happen? A greater than B is what? It is false.
False.
Because, yeah. And B less than C is true. But false and true will be what? This is false
False.
and this is true. Yeah, this will be false. So that is how it works. Then logical OR means even if you have one input as true, the output will be true. Like true or true will be equals to true. True or false will be equals to true only. Rest all are same, like false or false will be false. True, yeah, and then, yeah, false or true will be true only. So in this case, if I write print A greater than B, if I write same expression or B less than C. Now here, this is false, but this is true. So false or true will be false. Sorry, true. Even if you have one true, the output will be true only. True. Then the third type of logical operator is logical NOT. Logical NOT will reverse the output. If you are getting false as the output, it will make it true. If you are getting true in the output, it will make it false. So we usually put NOT before an expression. Like NOT. This I will copy and paste. So this was coming false. Sorry, this was coming true. If I put NOT before it, this will become false. So false is the output. So whatever you write in, like, it will just reverse the output, like 5 greater than 9. 5 greater than 9 is false, but not will make it true. It will change it to true. So these are all the logical operators. You don't have any doubt, right? You are clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So next topic which we will have to do is conditional statements. So conditional statement. So what is a statement? A statement is a piece of code. Like when I do something, A equals to 9, this is a statement. When I print something, that is also a statement. But these statements are running sequentially, one after another. Conditional statements does not run sequentially. 1 minute. Yeah. So conditional statements do not run conditional statements do not run sequentially. They run based on some condition. Like, suppose if I say if I'm checking some condition like or let's say I want to just check a condition in a real life. How does it go? Suppose I want to see if there is raining outside, I will go for work, otherwise I will stay at home. So this is a condition. We are comparing something, and based on the decision we are taking, that task, something is getting performed. Like if raining is there, I will stay at home. So I am taking a decision over here. So here it is a decision making statement. So how do they work is, so we have, let's say, a condition. If condition colon, if this condition is true, we have to put a colon actually, because this is how you write a conditional statement. This colon is important. If this condition is true, statements within that block will execute. But if this condition becomes false, it will go in else. And else we write like this. This is how we write a conditional statement. If this condition is true, the statements within that will execute. Otherwise, it will execute this statement. So here we have to make sure the indentation is correct, because when we put a colon, automatically the cursor will take us in the center. So you have to start writing everything from there only. You do not need to go in the left. So let's take an example on this. Suppose I want to write a program to input a number and check whether it is even or odd. So in this case, I want to input a number and I want to check whether it is an even or odd number. So you know what is an even number? Generally, how do you define an even number? Hello?
Yes, like you mean
Okay.
ex-
No, you can just generally tell what is an even number.
like exactly can be exactly divided by 2.
Yeah. A number which gets divisible by 2 is an even number.
Yeah,
And the opposite of it is odd.
yeah,
So in this case, in Python, how will I check is, usually in maths also it is the same logic. Like
okay.
if the number divided by 2 gives the remainder as 0, then it is an even number. And otherwise, if the remainder is not 0, it is an odd number.
Okay.
So let's take an example how we solve it. Let's say I input a number. First, I'm taking the number as input. If now the condition will be, so do you remember the symbol for taking the remainder in Python? Like
No.
it's percentage. If num modulus 2, this one I told. So
Okay.
it is going to take the remainder between num and 2. Num can be any number you give as input. If it is equal to 0, then I will say it is even number. Print even. Otherwise, so in else, it will print odd number. This is how we find even and odd. So let's say I write 7, it's giving odd. If I write 6, it's giving even. So based on this condition, the statement is being executed. So So actually, I can give you some questions on this also. Will you be able to do if I give some questions on this topic on conditional statements?
Explain two more things so that I'll get a grip on it.
Okay, fine. So let's say the other question is you have to input a number and check whether it is like positive or negative. Now, a positive number means a number greater than 0, it is positive. And if it is less than 0, it is negative. So inside, if I will, the condition will be if num greater than 0, positive, else negative. This is how we check. That's all. So if I write minus 10, it's printing negative number. If I write some positive like 8, it's printing positive number. So one question is this. Other question which I can show is, I mean, these are the two basic questions which we usually do. After this, I think once I give you the question, you try it. If you're not able to do, we can discuss.
Sure. You can.
Now, this is a simple conditional statement we have seen. That means we only have one condition. We can have, what if I want to give more than one condition? Because else is not a condition. If I have multiple conditions, then I will use multiple conditional statements. So that is what we are going to now see. So multiple conditional statement means we have more than one condition. So it is written like this: if condition, inside this you will have statements. Now let's say this condition fails. So I will give another condition in elif. This is another condition. So I can have any number of conditions. It depends on the question. And at the last, you will have an else. So if all the condition fails, else will execute. That is how we write multiple conditions. So we can take a example on this. Suppose I have to write a program to input 3 numbers and check the largest number. So let's take an example. Let's say I have 3 numbers. Input first number. Then copy this second number. Then third number. Now the first, we have to check the largest number out of 3. So first I will compare num1 with num2 and num3. So I will write if num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3. So if this is also true and this is also true, that means num1 is the largest. But let's say this condition fails. So that means we will compare num2 with num1 and num3. So this is going to be another condition. So elif num2 greater than num1 and num2 also greater than num3. So that means num2 is the largest. And if both the condition fails, that means it is obvious that num3 will be the largest. So that will be inside else. So I'm going to run this. So let's say I enter 67 as the first number, 10 as the second number. Then I write 0. So it is saying 67 is the largest. So it's giving the correct output. So that is about multiple conditional statements. Then we proceed to the next topic, which are loops. So loop is what? Loop means a repeated set of cycle which keeps on running until a condition has not been met. Like it is a repeated kind of a sequence. Like I keep on doing the same task again and again unless I did not fulfill certain condition. That is a loop. Like a circle is a loop. And then another example of a loop can be um, like if I'm so another example would be like if I'm taking certain rounds of a place, I will keep on taking the rounds again and again unless I am not finished with the last one. So I am doing the same thing repeatedly until I have not met a certain condition. That is called a loop. So why do we need a loop actually? We need a loop to save the time. We don't need to write too much of code. Like suppose if I want to print numbers from 1 to 100, I will not keep on using print function, or I will not manually write 1 2 3 4. I don't have so much time to write 100 numbers. So in that case I can use a loop. Inside the loop I can put a statement which can execute n number of times. So in just 2 lines of code I can finish the program instead of writing it for so long. So there are two types of loops. One is a for loop and one is a while loop. So for loop is actually called as a counting loop. So counting loop in the sense here we already know that we have to repeat a task n number of times, 10 times, 20 times, however many times. But while loop is actually a conditional, means in for loop we already know that this task will complete at this point of time. But while loop is actually a conditional loop. Here we don't know when the task will end. Based on the condition it will end. I am not sure when it will end. So this is the difference between for and while. So before telling about the loop, before going further with the example of loop, we should see this, what we say, range function. Range function is used to produce range of values between a certain given range. It takes 3 parameters: start, stop, and an optional step. These are the 3 parameters it takes. Step is optional. So it actually works like this. Inside range, we pass 1, start is 1, let's say, and stop is 10. So it will produce values from 1, 2, 3, and it will go till 9. Stop value will not be included. If I write 0, 5, this means it will start from 0, 1, 2 till 4. 5 will not be included. And if I write only 5, I mean, this also means the same thing. When you don't write any start value, it will start from 0 only. 0 till 4. Now here I have only entered start. I have only given start and stop. I have not given step. So let's say if I write range 1, 5, 1, 10, 2. Now this time I also gave a step value. So this means it will start from 1, but the next value will be 3. It will skip the next number. After 3, it will be 5, then 8. And it will stop at 8 because 10 should not be included. Similarly, if I want to go in decreasing order, like I want to start from 10 and I want to go till 0, then I'll write start value as 10. And I want to go till 0. That means I want 0 also. So I'll write my step value is -1. Because if I write 0, I will not get 0 in the output since stop value is not included. So 10, -1, and then step value will again be -1. So when we are going in decreasing order, we should always write step value. If we are going decreasing by 1, we should mention -1 as the step value. So now this will give me 10, 9, 8 till 0. So this is how range function works. If I write 10, -1, -2, do you know what will happen here? Yeah,
10 -1 -2. Then
actually then it will not means, no, this means it will decrease by 2. Here it was decreasing by 1, no?
yeah.
But here it will decrease by 2. So first it will give 10, then 8, then 6, then 4, then 2, and then 0. So it will not go after 0 because after 0 it is -2. But our stop value is -1. So it cannot go beyond -1, no? That's why.
Okay.
So this is how range function works. So now let's see the syntax of for loop. So the syntax of for loop is for variable in sequence. So this is a sequence you will write. So this variable will take the value from this sequence one by one, and until this sequence does not get over, the statements inside this loop will keep on executing. Means this variable will check the existence of, there will be a range over here. This variable will check whether that value exists in this range or not. Because this in operator is used to check the existence of a value in a sequence. So if this value exists in the sequence, it will keep on executing the loop until this sequence does not end. So we can take an example. Suppose I want to print numbers from 1 to 10. So for variable in range 1, 11, print. Inside this, I'll write print I. So I will be starting from 1. Now 1 exists in this range. So that means it is true. So it will go inside the body and it will print 1. Similarly, I will increase to 2. automatically it will increase also one by one. So when I becomes 2, it will again check whether 2 exists in this range. If it exists, it will again print 2. So this will keep on happening until I completes till 10. Once I completes till 10, now I will become 11. Now 11 comma 11 is false. So that means the loop will stop over there. It will not go ahead. Because 11 comma 11 means what? It means 11 less than 11, which is false. So it will stop there. This range is just checking whether a value belongs to a particular range or not. So it is printing the values from 1 to 10. Similarly, let's suppose I want to print the square of all the numbers from 1 to 10. So this means to print the square from 1 to 10 means the range will remain same. Here I'll just write I double asterisk 2. So it will print the square of each number from 1 to 10. And this. So it is printing the square of each number from 1 to 10. So we are done with for loop. I will give you questions on these also in the assignment. You can try it.
Okay.
Then now we go to while loop. Now while loop is a conditional loop. That means it executes based on a condition. So how will it work? What is the syntax of while loop? Is while condition. Until this condition is true, the statements inside it will keep on executing. Once this condition becomes false, the statements will not execute. That means loop will terminate. So actually we can see that same example printing numbers from 1 to 10. So if I start with 1, I equals to 1, then while. But if I want to print numbers from 1 to 10 using a while loop, the condition will be while I less than equal to 10. Until I is less than equal to 10, it will keep on printing I. And we have to increase it by 1 also, otherwise it will keep on printing 1 only. This will be infinite loop. If I run this right now, it's printing 1 only because I have not incremented it by 1. So I also need to write I equals to I plus 1. So it is printing numbers from 1 to 10. Okay. So that is all about loops. Now in loops, we have one topic called break statement. Break is actually used to terminate a loop in between. Like if I'm running a loop and you want to stop the loop in the middle, then that is a break, that is done using break statement. Suppose I'm writing a loop here. And now what if I want to stop this loop once I becomes 5? So for that, I will check a condition. If I equals to 5, then break. Else, keep on printing I. So that is how we use break. So once I becomes 5, it will stop the loop. Break means it will stop there. Otherwise, it will keep on printing I. So now it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4 only. Similarly, you have continue statement also. Continue statement is just opposite of break, means it will not stop the loop. It will skip that particular part which you have put in the if. So here if I write continue, so what will happen? 5 will be skipped and it will continue from the rest. So here after 4, 5 is skipped. So it is printing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. 5 is skipped after 4. So this is the difference between break and continue. Then you have understood this, right?
I'm sorry, could you explain again once? Like,
What?
could you explain again?
You mean which, what should I explain? Can you tell?
Like from first for I in range is 1:1, 1:1.
Means this thing. But this I
Yeah,
already
yeah.
explained in loops, no? I'm doing break and continue actually.
Okay, okay. Like
What?
explain me about this break statement.
Break I already explained. I thought you didn't understood continue or what? I mean, I didn't get it.
This topic, the going topic.
Okay. I mean, can you tell me what part you have not understood here? What?
Like if for I in
One. Yeah.
for I in range is 1:1,
Yeah,
and if
this means if I, because it is a loop, right? It is going to change each value from, it will start from 1 and it will go till 10. This is the range function.
yeah, yeah,
If this is checking that once I will be becoming 5, it should skip it. Continue means skip that.
okay,
Else it will keep on printing I. If I is not 5, then keep on printing I. So when I run this, you can see after 4, 5 is skipped.
yeah, yeah.
Continuing from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
6, yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay.
So
So
if you want to skip any number, you need to write it as if I
one, you need to
want
write
to.
continue because this is just a
Okay,
condition.
okay,
And if you want to stop the loop, then you use break.
okay,
So once I becomes 5, the loop stops there. It is only printing from 1 to 4. That is how it works.
got it. It's clear.
Okay. So the next topic, so we are done with the loops. The next topic will be, yeah, we are done with these concepts. Now we have to see strings. Now, what are strings in Python? Strings are collection of letters, numbers, symbols enclosed within double quotes or single quotes. Like this is a string. String can have digits also. But how does now I will just print this string. Now, how is a string represented in the computer memory? That we should be knowing. If I'm having this string, how is it represented in the memory? So what happens is every character in a string has indexing, which starts from 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is called indexing. Similarly, this is called forward indexing. Similarly, we also have backward indexing, which starts from -1. This is -2. So this is also called as position of each character in the string. -5. This is -6, -7, and then -8. So if I want to fetch any character from this string, I can use indexing. So I will write like this, S of 1. So S of 1 is E, because it starts from 0, 1, 2, and so on. So here I will get E. If I write print S of -4, can you tell me what I will get here? You can try, guess. I mean, you can guess, not a problem. Because,
-4.
yeah,
Is it like -1, -2, -3?
yeah.
Okay.
No, you have to fetch the character at -4. So which character exists from this string at -4 index? Means from this string, the value at -4 is, this is -1, -2, -3, -4. O is at -4.
Okay. Oh,
So O will come. Like this, it actually, this is the meaning of indexing.
okay.
If I write S of 4, then, now this is positive indexing.
L is
Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No,
okay. 0, 1.
it
Oh,
starts from 0.
start. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. So strings are immutable. That means you cannot delete or update anything inside a string. They are immutable. Then we can loop a string also. We have already seen loops. We can loop over a string as well. So if I write for I in S colon print I. So one by one, it will fetch each character from this string and it will keep on printing like this.
Okay.
So next is, we have string slicing. Slicing means extracting a part of a string. Like I want to fetch only 1, 2, 3 from this string, or I want to fetch only L, L, O. That is called slicing. So the syntax of slicing is string name, then start, colon, stop, and then again step is optional here. So let's suppose I want to fetch characters from L till 1. I want to fetch L till 1. So the starting value will be the index of L, which is 0, 1, 2. And the end value will be, so it is ending at 1. So that means 2, 3, 4, 5. But 5 will not be the end value. End value will be 1 greater than that, which is 6. Because if I write 5, then that stop value will not be included. So we should give 1 extra. I mean, 1, it should be extra 1. So now if I print I will get characters from index 2 till index 5. So this.
Can you explain again that? What is that number? More than two numbers?
This means start value, this means stop value. That means it will give me the characters in this range only from 2 to 5. 6 will not be
Oh,
included.
okay.
So,
Like
yeah,
in from hello 1 to 3 is H will be 0,
yeah.
1, 2. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Similarly, we can do this in negative indexing also. Like suppose S and I write minus 4 colon minus 2 colon minus 1. Now, this is like starting from minus 4. Now, minus 4 means actually I've done the opposite. I should have done like this minus 2 colon minus 4 colon minus 1. This actually means the step value. So this means I want to start from minus 2, which is minus 1, minus 2. I want to start from 2, and if the stop value is minus 4. So minus 2,
It's
minus
0.
3,
So, oh,
minus 4. But O will not be included
okay.
because the stop value is never included. So I will get the output as only 2 and 1.
Okay.
21 will be the output. So with slicing, we can also reverse a string. But before that, I will tell you one thing. What if you only pass a step value, like double colon 2? I have not passed neither the start value nor the stop value. I have only passed the step value. So in this case, this means it is starting from 0, but it is skipping the next character. It is giving every second next character. So 0 is H, it will skip E, then it will give L. Again, it will skip this L, it will give O. Then it will skip this 1, then it will give 2, like that. So if I write only stop value, that means it will start from 0 only. And then it depends. If I'm writing 3, then that means it will start from 0, H. It will skip the first two. It will skip the next two characters. It will give the third character in sequence, which is L. Then again, it will skip the next two characters. It will give the third character. So HL2 is the output. So that is slicing. We can continue to